This is Holly with woodlandshits.com, and I have Mr. Mario Rivers. He is, get this guy, drilling control software service engineer, music writer, producer, and engineer, and graphic designer, and book author. You have a brand new book coming up. Actually, it released in February of 2016.
Right, on Valentine's Day, actually.
Oh, it did?
On Valentine's
How
Day.
sweet is that?
Yeah, it was, I guess, a gift to the people.
Okay, and now it is...
The name of the book is The Truth, Keeping It 100.
Okay.
And that simply means just to be truthful with your partner. So
okay.
Just a phrase we used to use when I was smaller.
Okay.
So, between some of my friends. So I took the phrase and just made it my own.
Well, good for you. Good for you. Well, I see that it's on Amazon.
It is. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. It's on our bookstore. It's in about 50 other online retailers. Anywhere that books are sold, you can find it there. Okay. Or you can just do a Google search if you like.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the book. Like what you had mentioned earlier that you woke up one morning and you knew your purpose.
I did. That was years, though, after I had the material for this book. But that purpose came after I wrote the book. I've always liked to help people, so it was kind of like one day I had this tool, this book that I've written, and then I had this purpose about helping people, and so I put the two together, and I figured, let me use this tool to help people. And it's something I enjoy doing that I have to watch myself. I can do it all day, and I won't even realize the time that's passed. It'll be 9 o'clock at night, and I'm still working on writing some copy or writing a new blog post to help people out, or promoting the book to try to get it to more people. So I have to watch that because time, you have to spend time with your family.
Yes, you do. So yes, you do. Absolutely.
That's
okay, so tell the listeners about what this book, encompasses.
The book is basically a preventive maintenance manual for relationships.
Okay.
It's about debunking the myth that you need to give 50-50 and you need to give 100. That's what the keeping it 100 phrase is about. Is just keeping it truthful with your spouse 100%. You bring everything to the table, and most people think like, okay, well, I'll bring my half and they'll bring their half and we're gonna make it work. And I think people make a mistake there. Right. I think they need to bring their all, bring 100%, and then a lot of things can be prevented by that. That's the premise behind the book, to help people select a partner that they can build with and they can grow with. And I lay out practical steps on how they can do that, what they need to look for, and how they can build and maintain a relationship, because it can be messy sometimes. There's a lot of things you have to watch out for. I mean, courting is, I guess, it's not fun for some, so I want to help make that transition easier.
That's awesome.
Courting is a disaster for some people.
That is so true.
So I'm just trying to ease that pain and give them practical steps on things they can look for immediately, so they can recognize if they read my book and they read a certain chapter on, for instance, chapter 3, it's about basics. When you're looking for somebody, right? What should I look for in a possible potential partner? How do I know they aren't lying to me or creating this facade? So you read that stuff in the book, in the chapter, and then when you go out and you date or somebody's trying to court you, you can recognize right away some of those things that they might say that I mentioned in the book, and it'll prevent you from possibly making a bad mistake.
Very interesting. Well, I'm gonna definitely take a look at this book for sure. Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate it, Holly.
So, do you have any upcoming book signings or anything like that? Or
as far as the upcoming book signings, I'm putting something together now.
Okay.
And but I don't have the details.
Okay.
But I always post the details on my website. They can go to my website.
Okay. Tell the listeners your website.
It's mdriversbooks.com. Again, that's mdriversbooks.com. And I usually post it on the front page or somewhere on all the pages. So you'll see when I have upcoming events. I'll be announcing it on all my social media.
Okay.
So it is something coming up soon, and I will let the people know when it's coming, but I just don't have all the details together yet.
Okay, well, I will definitely be following you on Facebook, because I can share that with the listeners on our Woodlands Hits Facebook page.
Right.
So we'll
appreciate
get to some listeners out there to cheer you
on. And there will be refreshments.
Oh, even better.
So we'll read from the book. We'll have a Q&A. People can ask questions about what they want, and then we'll have some provided refreshments.
Awesome.
So because people get hungry when they come to.
Right.
I do, at least. I appreciate
if there's food on there.
Snacks. Right. So yeah, that's gonna be exciting. I haven't done it yet, so for this book, so that's kind of been doing a lot of groundwork for the book, and a lot of people have asked me to do it, so I do need to do it.
Okay, well, we're going to talk offline. Don't let me forget.
Sure,
Because
sure.
I've got some.
Let me write.
Some
I'm
stuff
writing.
to
I'm
share.
writing it down.
I have some stuff to share with you about that.
Okay.
Now, you had mentioned that if listeners go on your website, it's mdriversbooks.com. You can actually sign up to get your weekly newsletter.
Yes.
And you said that you're going to start doing a podcast and blogging, and
Right.
Tell the listeners a little bit about what they're going to get in that newsletter.
Okay. Well, Holly and I were talking before we came on the air about how we're giving people, and some of our colleagues don't think we should give out that much. But I want to help people, and so I want to help you, your listeners, get to a place where they can enjoy their relationship. So what I do every week, I write a blog post on Tuesdays, and I just actually started a 28-week blog series where I had an ebook I was going to publish, and my marketing team looked at it and said, hey, you should just chop this up and make it a bunch of blog posts and give it to them for free. And so I did that.
Love that.
I actually started that this week, July 6th. I started yesterday.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a 28-week thing where we have 28 questions that we ask. And this is all about relationships. It's all about thought-provoking questions to help you answer. But anyway, so that's one free resource. I have a blog post every week on Tuesday. You guys can check that out right from the website. I also I have one podcast up right now. I'm going to be doing a podcast probably once every other week or once every week. And this is going to be similar to the blog post, but maybe a little more in depth.
Okay.
And then every week I also have video coaching that I do on YouTube. That's all, and all of this is related because people like to consume information in different ways. Some people like to watch videos. Some people, like me, I commute a lot. When I commute, I'm always listening to podcasts or radio stations. So I have that available where people can download the podcast and listen to things about relationships, the same topics that I write about. Some people may not like reading blogs all that much. So I have several different ways they can consume this information. And my newsletter, every week that they can sign up for, it takes all of that and puts it in one place. So every week to your email, you'll get maybe that week's a link to that podcast, a link to the blog post, and a link to the video coaching every week.
Nice.
So you get all that information, free information, right there in your inbox. So why wouldn't you sign up? Sign up today.
Yes, mdriversbooks.com.
It's free.
Books.com.
It's just the first name and the email, and I don't spam people. I do it every Tuesday. I'm pretty strong about that because I get about 150 emails every day, and that can be
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. So I don't do that to people who support me. So it's a lot of free information there.
That's pretty amazing. Now you were mentioning something that we were talking about that you're going to be starting, or you have started, QRA.
Yes, the QRA actually is a tool that I created, and you know what? I'm going to give your listeners a free download, and I'll tell them how to get that. We'll do that maybe on your Facebook page. You can post it.
Absolutely.
Because QRA is a quarterly relationship assessment, and it's something that I created because in our relationships, a lot of time will pass, and before you know it, you're 2 years in, you're 3 years in, and you're wondering, man, who is this person? How did I get to this point? So what the QRA does is it helps with the communication, but it does it in a way that's not abrasive. Because just let's be real about it. If you said to your mate, your husband, your partner, your spouse, we need to talk, that's usually a negative connotation associated with that. So we just want to find a problem and solve it as quickly as possible. Right? We don't want to spend too much time talking about it. So the QRA tool is something I created to where now when you say let's talk, he won't be so defensive. And what it is I actually have a PDF download, and it's just a quick little checklist where you write out the problems, or you talk about the problems, you come up with some solutions, and then based on the solutions you assign them a value.
Okay.
And that value is only 3 numbers, real simple. The first one means that you need to work on it wasn't resolved. The second one means that you've come to a resolution, but you still need to work on it. And the third one is that okay, we've compromised, we come up with a solution, and both parties are happy, if you will.
Okay.
So it's a free download, and what it is you take 3 days, no kids, no phones, and you get away.
Do you guys hear that? No phones.
No phones, no distractions, because you just want to focus on each other.
Right.
And so it's about communication. But the first day, like I was telling Holly, I call it the red light special night. But you have it, you have an intimate night with your spouse. And that's the first night. No talking, no.
Right.
That's just to lighten the mood. You get a nice hotel room, you go to a nice dinner. Well, the second night, you go to somewhere that's quiet, maybe a Starbucks or something, I'm not sure. And then you have that talk. You list out, you can use my QRA tool, list out your problems, come up with solutions, and then it's actually a tool to measure your progress. And you do it every 3 months. And then the third day, if you can only spare 2 days, that's fine, because I know everybody has to work. But minimum 2 days. First day, you have some fun, you have some intimate connection stuff, and then the next day you sit down and you talk. And then you leave it alone. You don't nag every day about it, men or women. You give it time to work.
Right.
And then the next 3 months, you come back to it again and
reassess.
Right. But if you make, like me and my wife, what we do is we'll take the kids to their uncle's house, to her brother's house. He'll watch them for 2 days. And for instance, and maybe you don't have a lot of money, but you can go down to Galveston to Kima for 2 days.
Sure.
You can go to San Antonio. It's just get away from, even if you just do it at home, you just need to make sure no distractions, no phones, no kids. And I guarantee you, the next time you say, we need to talk, they'll be looking forward to having a 2-day getaway. Who wouldn't look forward to having a mini vacation every quarter?
Absolutely.
Right? So
well deserved, I'm sure.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you focus on the communication piece as well. And you do that in a non-combative way. So
I like that.
And if you are gonna say we need to talk, my advice is to always sandwich criticism between 2 layers of praise. So you say,
look at that.
so you start with, hey, I really love how you've been taking care of the family. I love what you've been doing. But there's something. Can we work on this? And then after you're done, thank you for being a good wife, a good partner, a good spouse. And that's how you do it in a way that doesn't make them cringe when you say we need to talk.
Away.
Right.
Yeah.
And I go over all of this stuff in my book too. But for those of you who are skeptical, you can check out all the other free information I have on how to build. I just did an article on overcoming past hurts. This is big for a lot of women. This is huge.
Yeah.
If you with a knucklehead that hurts your heart, you might be guarded. You never want to let anybody in there again. And so practical steps. Again, I have a download for that. Just quick steps that you don't have to spend a lot of time on. You can just go by the steps to help you move on past anything dealing with relationships. So,
well, guys, I really highly encourage you to check out his website, mdriversbooks.com. There is some really, really awesome, valuable information that's free, because you're just a very giving person and you just truly want to help people.
Right.
Just take a look at it and maybe sign up for his newsletter and all that good stuff. I know I'm gonna do it.
Not maybe, folks. Sign up.
Yeah.
It'll be the best investment that you can ever make, and it's free.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, the Truth, Keeping It 100, The Blueprint to Relationships is your new paperback that was released on Valentine's Day of 2016.
It was a gift to you all.
That's so awesome. Now, before we close this interview, I want to make sure and give my shout out to you. With all of these things that you do, you're also in the Navy.
Right.
And I want to thank you for your service.
Well, thank you.
And you're still continuing your journey through the Navy, as well as being an author, a writer, music producer. You have your own CDs and all that good stuff.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure that I voiced that in the interview. Thank you so much for your service. And
it's an honor. It's an honor. I didn't actually join the Navy for patriotism. As we all are young, we join it for different reasons, but mine was for college.
Sure.
I didn't grow up in a very good neighborhood. My parents did the best they could, and so I made a decision, hey, I have to do something better. And so at the time, it was just I went to get the free money for school.
Sure.
But of course, over time, as you mature, you get older, man, it's an honor. I've been in places where people hate you. You're actually there to help them, to free them, to to liberate them, and they hate you.
Because you're American,
right? Or because you have freedom. Your customs are different than theirs.
Right.
And that's a really heartbreaking thing, but so it's an honor to serve my country. Thank you, Holly, for mentioning that.
Of course, absolutely. Again, mdriversbooks.com. Check out the website, sign up. Thank you so much for coming into the studio.
Thank you. This was
really
one of the most awesome interviews I've ever had, and I
said awesome.
It. I did say awesome, and you mentioned that at the beginning, but I couldn't think of another word at the time. But thank you very much for having me. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And again, guys, it's mdriversbooks.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Holly.